It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Cards and the Packers, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Fall is in the air and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for Benson in last week's ball game. 19 carries, 59 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Kyler going to give this to Benson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Throwing now is Murray. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Lucas Van Ness getting free there to bring him down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Love, they go play action now. That's complete to Dobbs. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. The Packers at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season, and they fell in the opener, got back on the beam with a win in Week 2, but stumbled again last week to fall under 500.
And despite that stumble, I don't think anyone's too concerned because they've made mistakes that they believe are correctable. And this is a team still getting to know each other. I'm not that concerned, and neither are they.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Jacobs from the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 4. In motion, the tight end. Now Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 27-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Play action this time with Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. Jacobs, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Murray going to throw. Going right back to Wilson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. 1st down. Now Murray. Pass complete there to Harrison. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
He's got McBride here over the middle. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Murray. Goes right back to McBride. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. Shotgun snap and a give to Benson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And this one is right through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 2nd and a couple. On play action. Love to throw. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it. But listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Greg George deep for Arizona. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Murray now to throw. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Here's Murray from midfield. This one finds Wilson downfield. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray.
This is taken in by McBride.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
Murray now.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
To throw, it's Murray. Touchdown, Cardinals!
Trey McBride.
His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Chad Ryland now to add the PAT.
And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was capped off by a touchdown reception from Trey McBride. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
To pass, here's Jordan Love.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Reed. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. To throw now, here's Love. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Jacobs again. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Trey McBride and the rest of this offense headed back out now.
There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Able to get this one to McBride.
And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Throwing now is Murray.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. To throw is Murray. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Play fake. Murray.
That's complete to McBride.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone. And look,
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches.
A give up the middle with Benson.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown Cardinals.
Trey Benson, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packer offense heading back for one final first-half drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Buda Baker, the safety, he gets in from the secondary for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The former Florida State man, Trey Benson, had it going in the first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
Now they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it.
And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Packers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Matt LaFleur, he tells the offense, stay out there, go for 2. Love throwing for it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Cardinals offense and receiver Michael Wilson getting set for this next drive. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that momentum stays in your camp.
From the gun, Murray.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Running right on the option is Murray.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits.
And he coughed it up, and the Packers pick it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So what a turnaround to begin this second half. A touchdown and then the fumble recovery in quick succession.
It certainly feels like whatever was said at the half, it certainly struck the right chord, because they've come out with a lot more fire here in this third quarter. Down 2 scores at the half. Now they're right back in this thing with a chance to capitalize right here.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
Throwing. Love. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now Love. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Going back to Love. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They run over center with Benson. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Encroachment, defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3.
Here's Murray.
And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Murray going to throw. Going right back to Wilson. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Murray. Pass complete there to Harrison.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Benson.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
All start. Offense.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Murray now to throw. Throw left side, hauled in by McBride. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Trey McBride with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals go up by 2 touchdowns.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Ryland on for the extra point.
And the lead is up to 14. That time a 6-play drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown reception from Trey McBride. So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now the Packers get set to go. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. If they're going to try to complete this comeback, they need more runs like that from him, because until that point, he's been virtually shut down.
And based on where they are right now in this game, you would expect the ball to be in the air. But his ability to break off those types of runs, you can get big chunk plays on the ground as well, and he just provided one.
So no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Love. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Love from the gun. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
Love now. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Tucker Kraft,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Packers are back within a score.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Cardinals offense and Kyler Murray headed back out onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Back now at Lambeau. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth. Murray now. He finds his man, complete. That's McBride. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack.
Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and he dialed up the pressure and got to him.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10.
At the 20. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted.
Picked off by Mack Wilson. And the Cardinals are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
So here are the Cardinals to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground with Benson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
On the slant, he'll get it to Jones.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Shotgun now for Murray. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Murray.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Cardinals are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. First carry for James Conner, and he is going to lose yardage here. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll roll him out right, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray, a 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Cardinals might be headed to the win column for the first time this season as they add on to their lead.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Love looking to throw it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the first. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They go with Jacobs.
And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. This to Jacobs on the toss right.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Here's Love.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Cards will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
The football going back over to Arizona now. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
49 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
On first down, right back to Benson.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Another run here with Benson.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Throwing now is Murray.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Kyler going to give this to Benson.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this game down.
The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. Zaven Collins
drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for the Cardinals, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first win of the season here in Week 4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they too will leave here at 1-3. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.